Hi, Will from Fologram here. In this tutorial we're going to look in a little more depth at the track clicks component, go over some of the input and output parameters and common use cases of that component, and just show you the difference between all of those parameters and how you might use them as inputs to your model. So to get started, connect your HoloLens. Mine is already connected from the last tutorial, and fire up Grasshopper. So in the Fologram tool panel, in the Interact menu, we have the track clicks component. Just going to grab that and drop it down in the canvas. Now you'll notice compared to the track devices and track hands components, this component doesn't need a timer attached to it, and you cannot request the click data from Grasshopper. Instead, whenever the HoloLens detects a click or a tap, as Microsoft calls it, it will send that data back to Grasshopper. So whenever there is a tap registered by the headset, this component here is going to update. The track clicks component will update whenever any connected device detects a click. And you can tell which device is performing the click using the device name parameter on the track clicks component. So let's just go through some of these inputs and outputs. So an input parameter is you can flag whether or not you want to track clicks on only objects or whether you want to detect clicks on nothing, which are basically clicks on the room scan of the environment that you're in. You can also flag an object name filter. So you can use this in combination with the send meshes components where you've assigned a particular name to a mesh and then only detect clicks on meshes with that specific name. So that's really, really useful for building very, very basic interactions, and we'll cover exactly that in a later tutorial. The output parameters are the pose, so the position and orientation of the headset at the time of the click. So as I tap somewhere, it'll give me where the headset is. It will give me the cursor, so the position and orientation of the cursor at the time of the click, and that orientation is oriented to the surface of the object that was clicked on. So if you click on the, let's say, a table, I mean, you can see the orientation that you're going to get from the click component just by looking at the orientation of your cursor in mixed reality, the little white donut. That will be the orientation that you will get when you click on something. We also get the position of the hand at the time of the click. So as I tap and move my hand around, that gives me the position at the center of my palm, approximately. And the orientation there is exactly the same as the orientation of the headset. So we don't get the orientation of our palm as such. What you get in Grasshopper is the plane of the headset, but located at the center of your palm. Device name, we've already been through. Object name, so again, if you're clicking on nothing, then this will output null. If you click on a mesh that has been sent to the HoloLens that has a name assigned to it, then this object parameter will output that name. So again, that can be useful for detecting with a single track clicks component multiple different objects in order to set up your definition to perform in different ways based on which object you click on. We also get the GUID of the object that was clicked on. That's useful for detecting whether or not we're clicking on objects in Rhino, so objects that might not even be in your Grasshopper definition might not have been sent to the headset using the send meshes component. Okay, so let's try out this track clicks component in combination with the send meshes component. So I'm going to make a little mesh sphere, make it a bit bigger so it's easier to click on. And I'm going to give this sphere a name. Let's just call it sphere. And I'm going to set the interactive flag to true. And then connect up a panel to our object name. So when I click on the sphere, the track clicks component will now output the name of the object that I've clicked on. So if I change this name, and re-click on the object, my name will update. If I'm sending multiple objects, in fact, as a quick test, let's see what happens when I click on this box. So if you click on a Rhino object, it'll output just the default layer. Now this is not referring to the Rhino layer that the object is on. It's referring to a default layer inside of Fologram. And we should be able to get also the GUID of that object into Grasshopper if we want to do something with it. So for instance, we could build Grasshopper definitions that might move or delete that object straight out of Rhino. Okay, the hand position at the time of the click. This was covered a little bit in the previous tutorial, but you can see this is my hand position as a plane. As I click around, that plane will move, and it's using the orientation of the headset rather than the orientation of my palm.